When you move into the leadership roles in the world of AI, you will need some frameworks to work with. In this video, I am going to discuss about 7 such frameworks which come from consulting world but are very important for you and me as data scientists and AI leaders. 7 consulting frameworks for data science. What we are going to learn today is what are these frameworks? Then I'm going to tell you what is the need for you and me to learn these frameworks, and then I'm going to walk you through all these frameworks one by one. Okay? First of all, what are these frameworks? So, there are 7 of these frameworks which I have shortlisted, and these come from the consulting background. It will help you to do few things in a more structured way, in a more organized way, in a more cleaner way. So there is a set of process, there is a set of approach that you need to follow so that your task will be more organized, more cleaner, more nicer, and more impactful. Okay. So why to bother about learning these? Few things are going to happen, guys, if you know these framework. First is you are going to save lot of time. Second is you are going to impress people on the fly, your stakeholders, your clients, your teammates, your managers. Third is your thoughts is going to be very organized and systematic. And fourth is you are going to know how to analyze a given problem, how to break it into multiple sub problems, and how to approach it. As I told you, it's consulting field related frameworks. So it has been tried and tested on multiple business scenarios. Having said that, let's try to understand all these frameworks one by one. And as I told you, you will always not be crunching numbers. You will always not be a junior data scientist. So you need to know these things. Okay. First is known as Minto pyramid. Minto pyramid is a very, very well defined pyramid, very, very well defined framework that is used to present a finding to anybody, let's say technical or non technical stakeholder, in a systematic way. If you search Minto pyramid on Google, right, you will find a pyramid like this. What we will put in this pyramid? Let's try to understand with a simple example. Minto pyramid is basically divided into 3 parts. Part 1 and then part 2 and part 3. Okay? So, in part 1 of Minto pyramid, what you will put is what is the conclusion. So, what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to present a business case. I'm trying to present a story. I'm trying to present my findings. So, what I will put on the top? I will put conclusion. What I will put at level 2, I will put key arguments. Okay, I'm just going to give you an example to make it very clear. At high level, we will put conclusion, we will put key arguments, and in this level, when we come down, right, we will put details. So let's take an example and try to understand how Minto pyramid will be presented. For example, suppose you are trying to present to someone that sales dropped by 20%. So I am writing here sales dropped. Okay. Sales dropped by X percent. Just an example. This is my concluding statement that I am trying to convey to my audience. So the key reasons can be divided into 2 or 3 buckets. For example, here one bucket I can write here, my sales dropped because there was seasonal impact. Okay, this could be one reason. Key arguments I am giving. Seasonal impact. What could be my other argument? My other argument could be poor campaign. Okay, so whatever campaign the company ran, the response of that campaign was not good. So seasonal impact and poor campaign are the 2 possible reasons for sale dropping. This is my key arguments. Okay. Now I have to support these arguments with real data or with evidences. So those evidences will come here. For example, what all things I can put? I can put a seasonal chart here or data here that shows that in past 2 3 4 years, whatever, all the seasons, all the years in this season sales dropped. So seasonal chart could be one of my argument. One of my argument could be no repeating customer. So I can this again generate from the data, and I can say that there is no repeating customer because your campaign is very poor. That is my another supporting arguments for poor campaign. For poor campaign, another supporting argument or chart that I can present here or data I can present here could be low click rate. So when I'm sending my campaign to people in emails, the click rate is very low. I can support this with some data. So you see how the story is flowing here. On the first level, I'm giving my conclusion. On the second level, I'm giving key arguments. On the third level, I'm giving details and supporting that with data and charts. What is the advantage of Minto pyramid? Why I am doing this? Imagine from a layman's perspective, or imagine from a business perspective, imagine from a non-technical perspective. So it is very easy for people to understand, right? They just come and see the conclusion, they just come and see the key arguments, and they see the details. The picture is absolutely clear to them. So this framework, if you use to communicate your findings to non-tech audience, right, it is going to be very impactful. So remember, Minto pyramid is one tried and tested way of doing this. Okay. Next thing what I want to cover here is known as MECE framework. Okay. So what is the next framework we are going to cover? MECE. MECE stands for mutually mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Okay. I will write here collectively exhaustive. It's very simple to understand. When you are analyzing some data or when you are trying to understand what is hidden in the data, right? Then you have to keep in mind this MECE framework. I will give you one example. Let's say this is the data of some population data of a country, for example. And what you are trying to do here is you are trying to do some analysis, and for that you are creating different age groups. Suppose one age group you create 18 to 60. Okay, this is your group 1. Another age group you create 18 to 25. This is group 2. So what is happening here is group 2 is a subset of group 1. So these two are not mutually exclusive. Okay. On the other hand, if you create a group, let's say 18 to 60 is your group 1 and let's say 0 to 18 is your group 2. What is happening here is group 1 and group 2, these two groups are mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive as well. Because I am taking, for an example, let's consider in my data, in my total population, up to 60 years of age data only is there. So people's age is up to 60 years only. So if I take group 1 and group 2, right, then group 1 and group 2 combiningly covers all my data point. That is the meaning of mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. How this is useful? When you are breaking down a problem into sub problems, when you want to understand, okay, this is one part, this is another part, this is third part, this is fourth part. Let's take an example from the real world. Suppose for a telecom company, some customer churn is happening. Okay. So you can think of a telecom company, some customer churn is happening. What could be the possible reason of customer churning? It could be pricing. Okay. This could be one reason. It could be poor services. Correct. It could be competitor. Correct. All these are different reasons for why people will leave a telecom company, right? And it could be bad products. I can understand in real world there could be a combination of all these to, leave the company. But for simplicity, can we say that people can leave due to pricing? This could be the most driving reason, or the services, or the competitor, or the products. What we are trying to do here is we are trying to create groups or regions which are mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. And then what we will do is we will do a separate analysis on this group, this group, this group, and this group. What is making my customer to churn? This is another important framework, MECE. Remember, this is not applicable to only data science, AI, or things like that. Anytime you want to analyze something, remember MECE framework. It is going to make your life easy. Okay. Third framework that I want to talk about here is known as CRISP-DM, and this stands for cross industry. You have been doing this in some of your data science use cases, but please remember these words, because when you change industry and when you change domain, right, then it's all these keywords, all these jargons will come into your PowerPoint presentations. Okay. Cross industry standard process for data mining. That is your CRISP DM. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is very simple. All the steps that you do as part of your data science pipeline. For example, I will write here business understanding. Now, imagine what is the meaning of CRISP DM is this methodology will be used irrespective of which industry we are talking about here. Okay. Business understanding you need to do, data understanding you need to do, data preparation you need to do. Okay. Modeling you need to do. Okay. I'm talking about how do you do data pipeline, data mining pipeline. Evaluation you need to do, and deployment you need to do. Evaluation and deployment. All these things you need to do, and this is a standard framework for this is not related to any industry. Okay. Cross industry, these things you need to do if you are doing data mining or data science or data analysis kind of work. So this is called repeatable structured process for end-to-end data science projects. What is the name? CRISP DM. So you will hear this name sometimes in the reference. So remember, they are talking about this only. Okay. The next one I want to discuss here is called OODA loop. It's very simple to understand. OODA loop. And the meaning is observe, okay, orient, decide, act. This is again a framework that is used when you want to work with something mostly in the real world scenario. So here observe stands for observing real time data. This stands for analyze and interpret. So when we say orient, okay, this decide stands for what is the best decision at that point of time. And this A stands for implement and repeat. So for example, let's say this is an Amazon website. Okay. On that Amazon website, you go and click on the image of a product. That data flows to some machine learning model, and that machine learning model immediately recommends you something related to that product which you have just clicked. So what is happening is here code loop. Okay. O, this is O, this is O, this is D, and this is A. So what is happening? Your activities is being observed. After your activity is observed, then the orientation happens. So meaning of orientation is analyze and interpret. When that happens, then decision is being taken of best course of action. Best course of action decision is taken, and it is done, and then it is analyzed and it is observed again. So what you see here is OODA loop, and this keeps on going whenever you work with real time data or real time responses are needed. So this is another consulting framework that is very important for you to know. So people will refer to these frameworks when you talk to stakeholders or when you talk to program governance, things like that. The next framework that I want to discuss here is very popular framework known as McKinsey. Okay, McKinsey's 7S framework. This is a very popular framework, and as it is clear from the name, McKinsey's 7S framework. What McKinsey 7S framework is made up of? Security. No, the first thing is strategy. Okay. McKinsey 7S framework starts from strategy, then it tells structure. Okay, I'm just going to explain you what are these things. Then it tells systems, then it tells shared values, then it tells style, then it tells staff. Okay, and then it tells skills. I'm talking about the things which you will need when you become a data leader or AI leader. So please pay little attention. Uh, See, what is the strategy? Strategy, think about a company is trying to solve a business problem. Okay. So any company you can take an example. For example, Coca-Cola. Okay. Coca-Cola is trying to solve a business problem. What is the first thing that should happen? The strategy should be right. Okay. So in the strategy box, it should be how data strategy. There has to be a data strategy, right? Then only you can solve a problem. How data strategy aligns with business goal. Suppose Coca-Cola tells that my customer are leaving, but they don't have any data of customers. Is it possible to do something? No, right? So that is how data strategy aligns with business goals. Second is structure. So if you want to work on some problem, right? What is the structure of your team? That is important. So is there a team who is taking care of data collection? Is there a team who is taking care of data fetching, data providing, data cleaning, right? So how data team is organized. Systems. If you don't have right infra, how you are going to make sense of any data, right? So tools and infra for data allocation. Okay. So when you are trying to solve a business problem, larger business problem, what are the things you need? These things. Then come company culture, values, around data. So if data is not protected properly, if data is not shared in a right way, then all these things are waste, right? So shared values are important. Then what is the leadership style? So people sitting on the leadership roles, senior roles, right? If leaders are not ready to adopt these other things that I'm talking about here now, then your solution is not going to work. Okay. Staff is basically who is in your team or the core team which is trying to solve the problem, who are the people in that team. And then skills, so technical expertise of the team. If you see here, I have listed in McKinsey 7S framework, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. If you have 7 things in your organization, or if you are trying to implement a project and you have these 7 things, it is highly likely that you will succeed. Why? Because you have a strategy in place. You have a good leadership. If you see all these things, right, you have a good leadership, you have a good team, you have right infra, your data team is organized properly, and there is shared values. So it's highly likely that your project will succeed. This is called as McKinsey's 7S framework, which is highly used in the industry and highly recommended for anybody who wants to do something on a larger scale. Okay, so this is called 7S framework. You can evaluate any organization or any project or any initiative on the basis of this. Next thing I want to discuss about here is called icing scoring model. Very easy to understand and very critical. So in icing, what we do is we create 3 columns. One is called impact. You score impact on 1 to 10. Another is called confidence. Okay, so I impact, C confidence. Confidence also 1 to 10, you give the score. Ease. Ease also 1 to 10, you give the score. Okay, let's try to understand an example of what is the meaning of I score. Impact tells you if I implement a project, how valuable will be that project out of 10? Okay. How valuable will be that project out of 10 if I implement that? Confidence tells you how confident are you on that project. And ease tells you how easy it is to implement that project. Let's take an example. Let's say that um, Unfold Data Science website, for example, let's say this is Unfold Data Science website. I am saying in Unfold Data Science website, there is less traffic or less people are coming to the website, for example. Let's take two solutions here. First solution is improve the UI, and second solution is change the entire website. So let's say improve the UI impact is 5 or let's say 4. Okay. And confidence that it will bring in more people is 3. And the ease with which it can be done is 2. Just numbers I'm giving. And second is rebuild the entire website. Okay. So impact is let's say 1 because I'm not sure what will happen. Confidence is let's say 4, and ease at which this can be done is let's say 5 because building an entire website is difficult job to do. So what you do here is you compute the final I score, and I score is basically a multiplication of these three. So 4 3s are 12 to 24. 5 into 4 20 into 1, so 20. So I score is higher for the first option, so I will go with the first option, not the second option. What we are doing here, we are trying to evaluate what is the impact, what is the confidence, and what is the ease with which a project can be done. So these kind of things you can take as the supporting argument when you take any decision in a larger organization, larger setup. All these things are meant to enable you to become leaders. Okay, so that's why these things I'm discussing. The last, very easy, very simple to understand, and this you can use in your personal life as well. This is called a 2x2 framework. Very easy to understand. What you do simply is you create a 2x2 matrix like this. So something which is important, let's say you have 10 tasks in your hand. So you create a 2x2 matrix like this. Something which is important and something which is not important. And on y-axis you can say something which is urgent and something which is not urgent. Out of all your tasks that you have at hand, right? You put in one of these 4 boxes. Okay, you put in one of these 4 boxes. Here what I will do is I will come here and simply say do first, something which is important and urgent both. Do first. Something which is important and not urgent, what you will do with this, you will schedule it for later because it's important. Something which is not important and not urgent, what you are going to do, you are going to eliminate that, you are not going to do that. And something which is not important and urgent, what you are going to do is you are going to delegate it to the people who can do the job. So 2x2 framework, 4 boxes to fill, and we will estimate our tasks. We will see what is important, what is urgent, and we will put here and we will take the decision. So if I have to give one real world example, right? For example, here I will say low cost project or low cost solution. Here I will say high cost solution. I'm just giving you one real world example of this. Here I will say high benefit, and here I will say low benefit. So whatever projects I want to implement, right, I will just try to score them in a 2x2 matrix. So if something is high benefit and low cost, then this is the best solution. Okay. If something is low benefit and low cost, then I will call it low priority. Okay. If something is high cost and low benefit, then this is going to be simply avoided. So avoid. And if something is high benefit and high cost, since benefit is high, so you can think of implementing this little later strategically and call it strategic solution. So here you have to see where your project fits and then take a decision based on that. If you're liking the video so far, just please consider writing a thank you note to me and just pressing the like button so that I can bring these videos to you at zero cost. And if you drop a comment, that helps me a lot. So how many frameworks we have discussed? 2 cross 2 framework is 1. I scoring model is 2. McKinsey 7S framework is 3. ODA loop is 4. CRISP DM is 5. Mice framework is 6. And Minto pyramid in the beginning is the 7th. So no matter which background you come from, if you remember these things and if you know what are these, your storytelling abilities, your analysis abilities, your thought structuring abilities, your ability to convince the stakeholders is going to increase multiple folds. Okay. With that in mind, I'll see you all in the next video. Wherever you are, stay safe and take care.